Hello, and welcome to episode 64 of the Kicking Back podcast. Today, I'm joined by Chloe Lawrence. Now, Chloe Lawrence is a Manchester-based, Essex-born and Spanish-bred singer-songwriter and street musician. Hello, Chloe.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You know, I'm feeling well rested after the weekend, ready for a nice chilled chat.
Good.
We, of course, did your live session before, and it was very, perfect like morning vibes kind of music.
That's the aim.
Yeah,
It
sounded great. It sounded wonderful.
Thank you.
So, Chloe,
Yes.
for people that might not know who you are,
Yes.
how would you describe your music? Like, is there any particular artists that you kind of pull influence from or anything?
Yes. So, I mean, straight away my mind goes to Laura Marling, which...
That's okay. Interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you make that connection?
I did. I, when I was listening before, I put two artists down that I think you sound like.
Yeah.
Well, go on, tell me the other ones. I'll
Okay.
see if you pull up the other one.
So yeah, there's Laura Marling. She's a long time hero of mine. Obviously, people like Joni Mitchell and Bob Dylan are artists that I was brought up with. My dad used to play them all the time, and then more recently, I've been really getting into Amy Winehouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you have a particular era of Amy Winehouse, like album flavour?
Is Frank?
Yeah, it's the early ones.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm all
So
over that
I
shit.
hadn't really. I hate to admit, but I had been a little bit dismissive.
Okay.
And then recently I started actually listening, and I looked up some of the lyrics and stuff like that, because I play a couple of her songs when I'm busking, but only the kind of really well-known ones like Valerie. And then also a great song, but you hear it a lot. And then yeah, I started looking into some of the others and was really blown away. So I've been listening to a lot of her, which led me on to people like Joy Crooks.
Who's that?
She's a more today's artist. She's quite big at the moment, I think.
Joy Crooks.
Crooks. CROOKES.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is there an album or anything that you
Yes.
check out?
The album is there, and I can't remember what it's called.
Have we got it on there, George? Just put albums so it comes up.
23, really, is she? Wow.
Any of them? There's some Skin.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that it?
That's
Skin.
it. That's
And there she is.
Skin.
Joy Crooks.
Yeah.
Soul, jazz, R&B, pop.
Yeah.
Neo soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been quite nice for me to diversify a bit, because I have been very folk orientated for a long time, quite stubbornly. So it's been nice to broaden that a bit, widen my scope.
Sure.
So, and I feel like that comes through in my music a lot more nowadays, and it helps to create quite a unique sound, I think, personally. So I've got like sprinklings of classical folk in there, with finger picking and stuff, and then some kind of poppy R&B vocal melodies sometimes. So
Cool.
yeah.
So, like, were your parents, were they just sort of like playing that kind of music, and that was sort of like funneled towards you, and that's why you kind of stayed in that route?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, my dad's a big folk fan.
Okay.
So we always had a lot of folk on at home. Sometimes very traditional folk. We had some Irish music and stuff like that. And,
cool.
And then also like the kind of 60s, as I said, Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan, Neil Young. And then, yeah, I just got into this kind of stubborn position from quite a young age. I remember like within my friends, telling them that all their music was shit and that my music was good, and definitely them going vice versa and telling me that my music was shit. So,
Oh no.
but yeah, and then you kind of it forms a bit of your identity. So I'm sort of became this like folk singer, and you buy into the very like, especially I think as a female, like the pretty singer-songwritery vibes. So it's been nice. I think it's come also with just like growing up with age, with changing and growing and learning and stuff, and just broadening horizons and stuff. So it's been nice. It's been nice to do that.
Has there been any other artists that you've listened to recently that you've kind of shunned before that you've come back to?
I don't think so. I think just in general, I've become a lot more open to different genres.
Okay, yeah.
My boyfriend and I have actually been listening to a lot of reggae.
Oh, okay.
Which has been, I've never listened to reggae really.
Not even Bob Marley?
Well, yeah, but only in cool stoner days.
Stoner
vibes.
Okay.
So yeah, not really properly, and that's been fun as well.
Toots and the Maytals?
Yeah.
Nice. What's that album? There's like the black and white one with him on the front. That's fucking amazing.
I don't know, I'm not that...
George, pull up Toots and the Maytals
Go
albums.
on.
There's one album in particular.
Sorry, give me that name one more time.
Toots and the Maytals. Toots and the M-A... Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I've got you. Have you heard of, what was it, Salutation? Not Salutation,
Salutation
Dub as well.
Dub.
Manchester.
Yeah, they're a Manchester, like, reggae vibe. Go on, like, their albums. There's one particular album that's just like... There you go, that one. Scroll down. In the Dark, that one. Have you listened to that one yet? If you haven't,
I don't think I have. But
right, it's fucking amazing.
Okay.
If no one's ever listened to like Toots and the Maytals, I always say go to that album.
Okay.
Because that it's like the quintessential good shit.
Okay.
Good vibes.
Yeah.
All the way through.
That's what we've been feeling really. Just like, yeah, good vibes.
Yeah,
good vibes.
What was that band, Brad, that used to have? They used to do like reggae covers. Like Dub Side of the Moon and that. It was like something All Stars.
Yeah. If you put in Dub Side of the Moon, so like there's reggae band that like cover albums. So they've done like
and
like,
just reggaify it.
Yeah, so there's like Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, that's cool.
That's it. Easy Star All Stars.
Easy Star All Stars. So there's a few of their albums that are they're done really fucking well. Like they're done like so detailed. Like that one and the Sgt. Pepper's. Beatles. Have you listened to much Beatles yet, or you're not?
No, not really. Not like properly. I've heard. Yeah, obviously I've heard them, but
I feel like
I've not I've not delved in. No.
I feel like Beatles are ones like where people like love to say that they don't like them, and then you actually sit down and listen to them, and you're like, well, you can't. I don't know. You kind of like I have to like. You've got to like some of it, or like
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't not like them.
No, it's just not delved.
I've not delved. No. There's a song that we've been listening to on repeat. It's by the Ethiopians.
Ooh.
A reggae one. I recommend. The Ethiopians, and the song is called. I think it's called "I Never Get Burnt."
I never get burnt.
Yeah.
Okay, I will check that out. I never get
burnt. Yeah, that's a good one.
So how long have you been doing your thing for then, your folky vibes?
So I started singing lessons and guitar lessons and piano lessons when I was 6.
Okay.
Yeah, so at school, and I grew up in Spain, so I learnt like classical Spanish guitar initially, which was really hard.
Oh yeah.
I think we still have the classical guitar somewhere that I learnt on, and there are little bite marks all along the top where I used to get frustrated at that age and just like dig my teeth in. So,
I assume it was like a small scale one.
No, it was like a full. It was just the one that because my dad played.
Right.
But I think we ended up getting a smaller one. We must have done, but initially I was just learning on like a full size
with your tiny 6-year-old hands.
Tiny fingers, yeah.
Oh man.
And the little tiny arms trying to reach the end, but yeah. So it started from then. I think I used to write a lot of poetry and stuff. I was the kid at school, like when English teachers would be like, right, we're doing creative writing today, and everyone would be like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yes. So I wrote a poem and then I showed it to my dad because he was also an English teacher, and he was like, "Oh, why don't we turn it into a song?" I feel like I was quite resistant to turning it into a song, but
really?
we did.
Okay.
And that was my first song. I think I was 8, and then once I realised that that's how you write a song, I was like, "Oh, right, okay." So then I started writing more and more, and then you get to an age where you realise that some of the songs you write aren't that good. So you start cutting down how many songs you write and specialise in them a bit more. But so a long time really.
Okay, yeah. And has it always been like kind of the instance of like the sound of it? Has it always been quite similar, or did it start elsewhere in its infancy?
No, it's always been quite similar. It's always been very similar, which is why recently kind of making this shift and opening up a bit more to different sounds has been challenging because I've kind of stuck myself in this role for a long time. I've done some recording before and always in that kind of vibe. So as I say, it's been really nice to kind of break, not away from that, but out of that a bit.
Sure.
It's always been very similar. I used to sing with a very, I was very pointed about my English accent because I did like Lily Allen when I was younger as well. So, and also the very early Laura Marling is very, I still sing with my own accent, but it was almost not my own accent, it was so English. Or maybe quite London, maybe that was...
Really like laying it on thick and fast.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that's kind of changed, I guess, but generally, I mean, I've worked quite a lot on my guitar style, or just like skill on the guitar, so I feel like that's improved. But apart from that, it's always kind of been in the same vein.
Well, it's a fucking great vein. I really, really enjoyed it.
Good.
So you had your album Cafe?
Yes.
That's 2020.
EP, yeah.
EP?
Yes.
EP.
Yeah.
So would you say that the newer stuff is a bit more of a departure?
Yeah, I think so. But it's definitely... Cafe is great and I love it and I love the songs on it. But I feel like as an artist you sometimes reach a point where you don't feel like those songs necessarily represent you anymore.
Sure, yeah.
And so I really wanted to record them not only to give them to people, but also because it was kind of a way of separating myself from those songs. Apart from Patty's Wild Leaves, which I played earlier and continue to play all the time, that seems to have come with me. It's sticking around, that one. So but yeah, I love Cafe and I think that it has been kind of like one of the building blocks to get me to the position that I'm in now as a songwriter and as an artist. So I don't feel like it's a departure, rather more a kind of
a step
up. Yeah. I'm building on it.
Yeah. It's a great little EP, to be fair.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed listening to it.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, like the amount of people I've spoke to, and they say like they just want to get the songs recorded and then like box that.
Yeah, box that off.
Box that part of their life off and like move on. So, it's a completely like normal thing.
But it's nice. It's nice to have that to go to like look back on. Yeah, it's like kind of reading like old diaries or old journals or whatever. I don't know if it's just me that does that, but it's kind of like that, going and listening to Cafe. It's like going back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
For me anyway.
Yeah. I always get like a bit upset like when there's like an artist that I used to listen to, like, and there's like an old piece of work and then they like take it off.
Oh, because I don't like it anymore.
I'm like, why have you done that? Because I fucking love that.
Yeah.
And it's gone forever now. Like, it's happened with a few people. So I think you should just, like you say, you got to keep your...
Yeah.
I was going to say keep your shit, but it's not shit. So, you know what I mean? It's for other people, really.
Yeah.
Isn't
it?
Yeah. Right, well, should we hear some of this music? Let the audience hear it.
Yes.
So Chloe came in before, did a delightful little live session for us. So have a little watch of that. see what you think, and then we'll be coming back and chatting about the tunes and some other shit, I'm sure. See you in a second.
Hello, I'm Chloe Lawrence, and this song is called More of a Bitch. I have no words, there is no time to run. I think there's a man down here. Do we do it for fun now? Oh, you can't change my mind. I think it's wrong that it's right to be unkind. I paint my fingernails red. Can I claw my way into your head? Oh, 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 oh. You tell me I'm okay, I'm okay, and I feel safe with you. When I'm stepping out on my own, need myself a backbone, so I know which is which and you. You tell me I should learn to become more of a bitch. I don't claim to know what love is, but I'm learning how loving myself feels. I should hang around with girls like you, 'cause I'm feeling fucking angry now, to tell you the truth. Oh, oh. I'm not a woman for a time like now. One little dig and I am bleeding out. Why do you think I'm hanging round your neck like that? I'm scared of letting go and falling flat. Oh, oh, oh. You tell me I'm okay, I'm okay, and I feel safe with you. When I'm stepping out on my own, need myself a backbone, so I know which is which in you. You tell me I should learn to become more of a bitch. You can't change my mind. Think it's wrong, but it's right to be unkind. I paint my fingernails red. Can I claw my way into your head?
Yeah, alright.
Woo! This song is called Existentialism. Baby, sitting on the pavement, I didn't mind it all that much when you came to save me. Lately, I've been making changes. It's a real full circle feeling, I'm just gonna claim this. I came looking for attention. by the door, and the milk is going sour while you take care of you and yours. I'll breathe in, breathe out, and it's all that I can do to keep on telling you about how I came looking for attention. But I can tell that you are feeling existential. It's a dreamer that's a keeper, and it's time to let her go. Oh, now. This song is called Patty's Wild Leaves. The world has gained a dream. Rock and roll queen, he's on his knees. Cafe corners for hours, cause you're both living for the dream. So unafraid of the world that's in your mind, so unapologetic for anything you find. Hair and head, heart and sleeve, artistic ways to earn your keep, I think. Hair and head, heart and sleeve, I feel like you dancing by your leaves. I feel like you dancing by your leaves. To art, but there's always heartache in between. Oh lady, please be as you are seen, chasing for the dream where your heart is, cause you're loose like wild leaves. So unafraid of the world that's in your mind, so unapologetic for anything you find. Hair and head, heart, sleeve, artistic ways to earn your keep, I think. Hair and head, heart, sleeve, artistic ways to earn your keep, I think. Hair and head, heart, sleeve, I feel like you dancing by your leaves. Hair and head, heart, sleeves, I feel like you dancing by your leaves. I feel like you dancing by your leaves.
Yeah. Nice. So, Chloe, where can people find you online?
I am at Chloe Lawrence Music on Instagram, and on Facebook it is under Chloe Lawrence Music also, or you can just type www.facebook.com/CHLOLRNCE. Like an abbreviation of Chloe Lawrence, it is Chloe Lawrence. And you can find me there and under Chloe Lawrence on Spotify also.
Cool, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to episode 64 of the Kicking Back podcast. You've just watched a delightful performance from our guest today, Chloe Lawrence. Delightful stuff.
Thank you.
So, take us through each of the tracks. You did 3 tracks for this and just like tell me a bit like, you know, what they're about, how they came to be.
Okay. So the first one is called More of a Bitch, and I usually play this in conjunction with this other song, which is called Can't Stop Caring. And this is about my inherent need to please people. Bit of a people pleaser.
Okay.
By nature. So More of a Bitch is basically just about working on that. So not actually being a bitch. Obviously, that's a bit of a metaphor or a bit of an exaggeration,
Sure.
but just about kind of standing up for myself a bit more, having a bit more conviction, a bit more confidence. A bit more self-belief, a bit more self-respect. But yeah, above all, I think conviction is a really big word when it comes to this song. I feel like that's something probably that a lot of people struggle with, but that I sometimes find hard having conviction in my opinions, my thoughts. So yeah, this song's kind of about trying to take some more kind of ownership over that. And I really enjoy playing it because it does make me feel confident and like I have a lot of conviction, and so that's really nice. It kind of I wrote it in 2 stages, which I never do.
Oh, okay.
I like to like tick things off and have it done, but I wrote like half of it and then left it and didn't play it for ages. I kind of went off it for some reason and then went back to it and wrote the second half, and I really love playing it now. This was when I started writing it when I was first really getting into Amy Winehouse.
Okay.
So I think that it's quite influenced by that. And then the second song is called Existentialism, and that is my newest song. And it's actually about nothing.
It's about nothing.
Yeah, and I really don't do that. I always write songs that that take on quite a like deep and meaningful topic. And I had been having a conversation with various people recently about how sometimes it's refreshing when you go to a gig or an open mic or whatever and you hear a song which is performed, which is just kind of not about anything in particular.
Sure,
and it's kind of like as I say, it's refreshing. It's just a bit different from the kind of, you know, as wonderful as like I genuinely believe like the vulnerability of pouring your heart out on the stage is a fantastic thing to do. And sometimes it's really nice to contrast that with a kind of light song that doesn't really hold that much meaning. Yeah. And I don't have any of those songs. So
everything's so deep.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
okay.
So this song, I just wrote down words that kind of sounded nice, or I found the E major chord for me. It's just a happy chord in my head. It's labelled the happy chord. So I was like, okay, well, if I'm writing a light-hearted song, then I'm going to use the E major chord. And then it just kind of unfolded from there. Most of the words just came up as I was like playing the chords, and then they just kind of came out. And I tried to edit some of them actually, and then whenever I practice it, I just sing what I was singing originally. So I was like, oh, I'll just keep it as that, seeing as it doesn't mean anything. So yeah, that's kind of where that came from.
I'm curious as to like whether like in a few how new is the song? Like when did you write it?
Maybe like a month ago.
Okay. I'm curious.
It's going to take on meaning.
I think it will, you know, because the amount of people that I've said, like, yeah, I just wrote this at the moment, and then, you know, and then like they come back to it like a year later, and like, holy fuck, that was about that thing. So I'm curious to see.
I know that the whole thing about coming for affection or attention or whatever, and then about somebody feeling existential. I feel like that's like a general thing within relationships sometimes. So I think that just probably was born from being in a relationship, being around people in relationships, and just kind of, bringing that out. And there is a line in it which is about a dreamer and a keeper, and it's time to let it go. And I was actually I was reading a psychology book, and I can't remember exactly what that was in reference to, but basically it was about a psychotherapist who was working with a patient who had these like crazy dreams that he thought meant absolutely nothing, and actually they were like, they held the key to like his recovery or whatever, and it was time to let go of the things he was dreaming about. So that came from there. So I guess it obviously all comes from somewhere. But that song was my quest to have a song that held less meaning than some of the others.
Okay.
Whether I've succeeded in that or not,
we shall see. Time will tell. Time will tell.
It feels like a fun song to do, and in terms of like vocal melody, it's probably one of the most challenging ones I've written.
Yeah, it's pretty complex.
Yeah,
really, isn't it?
yeah,
There's
and I really enjoy that.
Yeah,
it's really nice to. Well, I think it comes with this whole idea of trying to embrace like a bit more confidence and conviction, and I'm aware that my voice can do like pretty cool things, and I don't always use it to do that. So that's what I'm kind of trying to integrate more and more. And yeah, I really enjoy using it as more of a tool rather than just it just sounds nice or whatever.
Yeah,
trying to kind of use it in different ways, and challenge it a bit more with complicated melodies, and but I enjoy doing that song. Yeah.
And then track 3
is Patty's Wild Leaves.
Yeah.
Which, as I say, has come with me from quite a long time ago now. I wrote it back in 2018.
Okay.
Like right back at the beginning of 2018, I bought a book by Patti Smith because I liked the front cover.
As in Patti Smith, as in
the rock and roll Patti Smith, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so she writes books.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know how many books she's written, but I've read 2. The first one is called Just Kids, and I bought it, as I say, because the front cover was cool. I actually bought it in Vienna when I was visiting a friend there, and I hadn't really read any books. It was kind of an autobiography, and I hadn't really read any autobiographies. And I hadn't really read in a while, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was kind of one of the first books that I picked up after a kind of long... I'd been travelling a lot, so I hadn't read very much during that period of time. And I just bought it and read it at just the right time when I was coming home and I was trying to make some changes. And it's such a good book. I can't recommend it highly enough. And...
Have we got the artwork? I'm kind of curious to see what the artwork's.
Yeah, it's that one right on the end. That's it. The picture of her and Robert Mapplethorpe or Mapplethorpe. I'm never been sure how you pronounce it. But yeah,
okay.
Fantastic book. Just really, really inspiring as a creative, because she just kind of sacrificed a lot of things to be an artist in a really like cool way, and yeah, and in it she does these like she does all these kind of strange things where she'll like dedicate something to an artist that she loves,
right? And
she knows that the artist will never see it or get it or whatever, although probably in her case eventually they did, because she got huge. But yeah, and she writes this poem to Robert Mapplethorpe, which is called Wild Leaves, and she writes it for him either while he is dying or once he's died of HIV, and it's a beautiful poem. And when I read the song, when I read the book, I was inspired by her idea of kind of dedicating things to people, and I wrote that song to say thank you for the book.
I see.
Yes, so it's called Patty's Wild Leaves, and yeah, it's about Patti Smith, basically.
You never know, it might.
Well, I have sent it to her on Instagram quite a lot of times.
You will listen to this song. It's about you.
Every time that I record a different version of it, I'm like, oh, it's here. I feel like she'd really like it, but maybe I'm sure she's just really busy.
Yeah, she's probably got a lot on her plate.
She's probably got a lot on, yeah.
She'll get round to it eventually, once she chills out.
But yeah, so everybody always really likes this song, which is really nice. It's got a nice vibe. I really like the song. I always enjoy playing it. So, yeah.
It's a great little tune.
Yeah.
It's a good little tune. So is that kind of the only one you've kind of carried over from the cafe era?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't play the other three that are on there at all.
Right. Yeah.
That was kind of the idea.
That's fine.
That was kind of the idea when I recorded it. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
So what have you got coming up gigs-wise and stuff? I've got something here saying you've got an all-female lineup gig, Sounds of the Solstice?
Sounds of the Solstice,
Tell me about that. What's going on with that?
This is on the 21st of June at the Art of Tea. I worked at the Art of Tea as a supervisor for a year, so it always feels a bit like coming home.
Is that the store in Altrincham with the...
No,
not in Didsbury with the...
Didsbury,
it's got a
yeah.
library,
Right first time.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
in Didsbury,
I love
with
that
the
place.
bookshop.
Yeah, that place is awesome.
Yes, it is the best place ever. It's very close to my heart. So, yeah, it's all female lineup. There is Run Remedy, who I think we mentioned before, who you've met. She's going to be there doing her songs, and then Solace.
We also had her on the other day as well.
And I haven't heard her live, so I'm really excited about that.
She's really fucking good.
Yeah.
She's really good.
Yes, that's what I'm expecting. So yeah, the three of us will be performing there separately and probably do one or two together, and no doubt Robin will play for all of us because she's fantastic. And yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. We just... Robin played violin for me at a gig in York recently, and when we were driving there, we were talking about how that combination of artists would be really good, and who could we get to put that show on? And then we were like, well, we could just put it on ourselves. So that's what we're doing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I will come check that out.
Yes, please do. It'll be really good. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a really special night.
Yeah.
Especially seeing as it is on the solstice. I think that's nice. Longest day of the year.
Is it? Ah,
Yeah.
delightful stuff. Any other gigs or anything coming up you want to tell people about?
So I'm playing a little festival in Sussex this weekend, which will be really nice. And apart from that, no gigs in Manchester. I'm playing in York on the 18th of June at 45 Vinyl Cafe.
Okay.
Supporting Rachel Croft, which I'm excited about. And then I have a gig in Leeds at Headingley Arts Centre on the 20th of September.
Amazing.
So yeah, those are the ones that are kind of this neck of the woods.
And if people wanted to find all this stuff,
Yes.
where would they need to go? Stare them in the eye. Really intimidating.
Yeah.
Right there.
So it's Chloe Lawrence Music on Instagram, and it's also Chloe Lawrence Music on Facebook, or you can go to facebook.com/CHLOLRNCE. It's an abbreviation of Chloe Lawrence, for anyone who's wondering. And yes, that's where you can find it. Yeah.
Amazing. I do have one more question.
Yes.
Before we wrap this bad boy up.
Yes.
If you could sum this podcast up in 3 words, Chloe.
Yes.
What would it be?
Well, Lovely.
Lovely.
Yes. Relaxing. And efficient.
Efficient.
Yes.
I don't think we've had that one before.
Efficient.
That is one word
Yeah.
that we have never been described
That shows
as.
how professional we've done today, George. If I could
I feel like it is very,
if I could high five you, George, I would. So I'll just
Hey,
air
Brad,
five.
little air five.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's been a pleasure having you on, Chloe.
Thank you very much for having me.
Send us your new stuff when you record it, because
I will.
I'd love to have a listen and have you back on again.
I will.
You people at home, go and follow Chloe. Blah. Go and
So
follow
professional.
Chloe. Go and follow
Yeah.
her because she's fucking great. And his music sounds delightful as well. Whilst you're out there on the internet, follow us. We put on different artists every week, live sessions, podcasts. We didn't talk about Serial today. I thought we would bring it up,
yeah.
but maybe in a future episode we'll talk about
Serial
Serial.
conversations.
Yeah, exactly. So go and check us out online. Check out Chloe. We'll be back again next week with a new artist. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast to catch up on new episodes every week. Also, check us out on our Facebook and Instagram at Rec Rooms, where you can find out about our other exciting music series. We also have this and all our other episodes of the podcast up on our Rec Rooms YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure. See you next time.